Good evening, respected guests, dear attendees, on behalf of Social Tables family. At Social Tables, it's a brainchild of Kalpana Chaudhary. We're committed towards the sustainable development, societal well-being, and environmental consciousness. We engage in global leadership, diplomacy, informative panel, inspiring speakers, impactful leaders, talent developers, and engaging audience. Every week, we bring out some of the brightest minds from the diverse sector to discuss our few significant ongoing issues. For today's panel, we have Dr. Mickey Mehta with us, global leading holistic health guru, corporate life coach, the recipient of Health and Wellness Icon of India award by Economic Times in amongst the 100 most impactful wellness leaders of the world announced by the Global Wellness Conclave in 2018, the first personal trainer of India, the first fitness columnist, the first fitness TV and radio presenter in India, and still continues to educate us on these channels. The author of two very successful books, The Sunyavam Quotient and Lose Weight, Gain Shape, with five more books in the pipeline. The only one in India to have an honorary double doctorate in holistic health and life science for integrated medicines. Been invited to speak at the Harvard University, IITs, and IIMs across the world. Has the rate of distinction of training amongst the police, army, navy, and the air force. The coach of Miss India's, Miss Worlds, and Miss Universe, along with the Bollywood biggies, politicians, and Indian iconic billionaires. Recently joined the support to support the government's Fit India movement. He has partnered with Bombay Stock Exchange, Indian Drug Manufacturer Association, IDMA, to promote invincible health and infinite immunity for humanity during the COVID lockdown days. The author, poet, philosopher, the brand, the institute, the legendary Dr. Mickey Mehta to get you energized, naturalized, optimized, maximized, wellness revolutionized to get you Mickey-mized. Over to you, Kalpana.
Hello, Mr. Mickey.
How are you? How are you?
Very warm welcome to you in our today's
series. Thank you so much.
It's our utmost pleasure to have you here with us today in this show. Today we will discuss on mind in medicine. Mind is medicine. You are the global leading holistic health guru, also a lifestyle coach. What does it involve you to do?
It's a responsibility to make this universe, I would say universe, not just earth, to make this universe a happy, healthy, and a harmonious place. It is a responsibility to share the knowledge, the wisdom of the modern scientific frontiers and the ancient wisdom traditions to spread across the world, to heal the minds, bodies, and spirits of all mankind, and also support the environment. So that's my responsibility.
Such a wonderful, noble cause. How has the lockdown period affected your work of teaching?
Well, it hasn't affected at all. Everything is normal. Everything is the same, the way it is supposed to be. So, when things change outside dramatically, you shouldn't get affected by them. That's the way yogis normally live. That your very word yoga is being wholesome even if and even when the world is divided in fragments, completely scattered and tattered. You remain whole. So,
wow. Mind is medicine. If you could elaborate on it, how does mind influence us?
So, let me tell you that the state of your mind, I'm not saying the condition of your mind, the state of your mind influences your health and healing. If your mind is calm, you are calm. If your mind is agitated, you are agitated. If your mind is upset, disappointed, depressed, you are upset, disappointed, and depressed. So everything that happens to the mind happens to the body. When your mind is agitated, your body gets agitated too. So your digestion goes for a toss, elimination of toxins go for a toss. Your heart beats go off rhythm. Your lungs, the oxygen in the lungs literally reduces and goes down. We begin to secrete stress hormones rather than happy hormones and growth hormones. So these are the influences of a mind going wrong, mind in disorder, the body goes in disorder. Mind in the state of dis-ease, the body gets into the state of dis-ease. Mind gets disoriented, body gets disoriented. Mind gets fragmented, body gets fragmented. Mind gets disintegrated, body gets disintegrated. And mind gets degenerative, the body becomes degenerative too.
Oh, wow. How enhancing immunity help people overcome this pandemic then?
When you enhance the immunity, the state of your mind becomes calmer, completely in faith, full of joy, absolutely optimistic, very creative. So it is said that the positive use of imagination is creativity, the negative use of imagination is stress. So when you are in the state of high immunity with breathing, sunshine, food, sattvic vegetarian food, rest, meditation, prayer, philanthropy, yoga, singing, dancing, so then your mind gets in the state of absolute harmony, and obviously your immunity goes higher and higher. So when your body is completely vibrant with all the positive inputs of health and healing, the mind becomes vibrant and radiant.
Wow. And how important is workout, physical activity for every individual?
Well, workouts are very, very important because as we live every day, we need breath every day, we need sunshine every day, we need food every day, and we need something to challenge our body every day so that we can digest that food and nutrients every day. Also, so that our body remains active regularly, so that our body is constantly challenged in a way that your muscles remain stronger, elastic, your bones get stronger, your cells are regenerated every day, your organs displace toxins or secrete toxins out, eliminate toxins, and nutrients are deeply circulated, oxygen is circulated. So that is the way workouts help you remain healthy.
And since we have often heard you recommend yoga for fitness, would you say yoga is the destroyer of all diseases as well?
Certainly. So I would say that Ayurveda is a creative science, yoga is the productive science. Ayurveda and yoga put together are creative and productive for health, healing, wellness, and well being. So, obviously, when you embrace yoga and Ayurveda, that is the time you embrace health and healing, and you are always in the optimal state of health. So, we upregulate, upscale, and upgrade our endocrine system, our glands, hormones, secretions, our circulation, our digestion, our nervous system, our cognitive strengths, and all the other organs and systems functions. They get orchestrated in harmony. And then, of course, you eliminate and mitigate the possibilities of any dis-ease and ailments. The very word dis-ease is opposite of ease. You bring in ease with yoga and Ayurveda, then you'll keep disease away.
Wow. And the lockdown has put a lot of restriction on each one of us in our daily lives. It often tends to cause irritation, anger. What would you recommend to control such? And how do we channelize these emotions?
So, as I say, that mind is medicine.
Okay.
So, you must know that your mind is broken into million pieces because it perceives information in million pieces or billion pieces or more, less, doesn't matter. Now, these millions and billions of pieces of information, they get you distraught, in disarray, confusion, complexities. And because of that, your body is in the state of disarray, distraught, complexities. Your body becomes directionless. So, when in breathing, conscious breathing, when in meditation, when in prayer, when in yoga, your breath gets harmonized, both the nostrils going in together and out together. That is the time your mind becomes watchful, full of light. And when your mind is full of light, alert, and in full awareness, it is in Chaitanya Bhav. It is in Drashta Bhav. It is in the state of Jagruti, Sachetan Man. And then Manushya becomes Purusha. So Manushya is a man of the mind, and Purusha is when this mind becomes mindful, whole, complete, Purak. So that is the time your mind becomes medicine for everything, and your body knows how to deal and respond to any threat that comes across, even in the vicinity of it. And that is the way your immunity works.
So you mean to say that the body can heal itself?
The body has the fullest capacity to self-repair, self-heal, self-maintain, and constantly self-regenerate.
And how does that happen? If you could elaborate a little bit on this.
So as I said, that regular rhythmic breathing
Okay.
brings all your systems and functions, they get them regulated. They also get them fortified. Regulated breathing also help you cleanse, cleaning, shuddhikaran. Then of course, sattvic bhojan, shakahari, pure vegetarian, seasonal, regional, as much organic food. That also gives you the strength and supports cellular regeneration and brings that kind of swastha, quality of swastha that you need, purity. And swastha means swayam mein sthit, swayam mein upasthit, swayam ki upasthiti. And swastha also means ritambara pragya, which means the deepest understanding of truth and clarity of truth. With that comes yatha pinde tatha brahmande, which means as is the atom, so is the universe. So the wholeness with the universe happens. Tattvamasi happens. Once again, the integration with the universe. This is that, that is this, and this is all which is. And then of course, Soham and Aham Brahmasmi. I am the creator, I am the destroyer, and I am the one who runs it all. So you become one with that I, the creative phenomenon. So these are the things that happen to you in meditation, food, breathing, prayer, and especially when you take a lot of sunshine, when you look into the open sky, when you listen to the chirping of the birds, when you look at the ocean's waves, when you look at the energy in the waves and connect with it, when the radiance of the sun, the heat of the sun hits your forehead and the body and the skin, and you absorb that. When you take the energy of the full moon, when you take energy from all the stars, all the planets, when in meditation you harmonize with all elements, that is the time mind becomes medicine. And that is the time your immunity goes very high and remains high. And your body becomes magical. And
That's,
everything becomes magical.
that's indeed a in-depth knowledge. I would also want to understand. So when you're talking about this sun bathing, the yoga, do these all have any particular timings?
Ideally, yes.
Yes?
The best time for the sun is early in the morning.
Okay.
The best time to do yoga is first thing in the morning. The best time to eat the first cooked meal is ideally around between 12 and 2.
Oh,
The best time to have your last cooked meal is ideally around sunset.
oh.
The best time to eat fruits, nuts, seeds, sprouts is early in the morning. The best time to have kadas is mornings and evenings. Coconut water is in the morning. So, of course, there are ideal times to do ideal things. But if you miss that, then you can always catch up at the second most ideal time, third most ideal time.
Wonderful.
You must get aligned with yourself first. Yourself shouldn't be divided in with duality. Okay, so duality is what? Subject, object, mind, body. So when there is unison, when there is integration with yoga, with breathing, with food, with rest, in attitude, and when you're connected with elements, once again, when you're doing your yoga, your awareness becomes very central. Your awareness comes to fore. You are always on the top of everything. You never miss a moment without being aware. When you heal very well in the sleep, the best immunity happens in the sleep, if you must know it, when you're at rest, because your body repairs in sleep.
Okay.
Okay, the best immunity also happens to you when you're meditating, because when you're most relaxed, all your hormones secrete the best
Wow.
in the finest way.
Okay.
Also, when you prayer with devotion, when you do a prayer with devotion, then once again you're chanting, and the words and the sound of the chanting, when they fall on your own ears, they reorganize your body functions, systems, organs, because our body becomes conscious to sound, touch, taste, smell, and body responds to sound, touch, taste, smell, visuals, food. Looking at an open sky gives you a lot of confidence that life is infinite. You breathe easy. Looking at the waves of the ocean, at the ripples of the rivers, and when you take that energy breathes into you too and is created into you too. Looking at the radiant sun and taking the radiance of the sun, your thoughts become more creative. Your mind becomes more sharp and alert. Looking at the full moon, you get the feeling of being full too. Looking at the trees, you also become as energetic and vibrant and pure as the trees. Listening to the chirping of the birds, there is harmony in your body too. So, mingling with nature brings you everything that you want for health and healing, for oneness. And then you come to that Vedic saying, this is complete, that is complete, wholeness leads to wholeness. And if wholeness is taken away from wholeness, still remains wholeness, which means you become so complete, full, and whole that it never becomes less.
Wow.
Yeah, and it is said that we all humans are gods in seed form. We are Krishna's, Christ, Jesus, Mahaviras, Buddhas, Savitris, Lakshmis. We are Ishwar, we are Allah, we are Muhammad, we are everything. The only thing is we have to nurture ourselves to become that. We are born as a seed of blossoming into godliness. Only humans can rise higher than gods and fall below animals on the ladder of evolution. Why do we make ourselves like gutters when we can be like gardens and orchards? When we can be fragrant and colorful like flowers? When we can become colorful and fragrant and sweet like fruits?
Wow. This is so. I mean, I'm sure a lot of us wouldn't have even, connected nature and ourselves. So you mean to say the universe is within ourselves?
Yatha pinde tatha brahmande, as is the atom, so is the universe. In Quran also, in Bible also, in every scripture, religious scripture of the world, there is a description of you, the mortal, when bows in unison, when bows in humility, and integrates with the Creator, becomes one with it.
Wow. Wonderful. Your words have been very insightful, and I'm sure now even attendants would have had a very deep overview on this issue. Thank you so much. Before we go into this rapid fire question, it's a personal question, and I also have a friend from Delhi who is also a cancer survivor. So something for us who have survived
So,
cancer, and it is very, we are trying with all this kara, the fruits and vegetables, yet the immunity isn't, going that good with us.
how do you know it is not going up?
Yeah, because I feel that, I still have that breathing problem,
Are you
and
sleeping well?
yeah, I'm sleeping well.
Very well? Sound?
Nahi, na acha nahi. No,
That's number one. Are you doing your regular breathing exercises and yoga asanas every day in the morning?
no.
Then why are you blaming in everything else? If
Okay.
you are not giving the right inputs to your body, how do you expect your body to change?
Not every day, but yes, thoda
So,
bahut.
are
Okay.
you breathe every day?
Hmm.
You need food every day?
Hmm.
So, why not this?
Okay.
So, you are depriving your body, you are beating your body to death. You are walking in ignorance every day towards death. Open your eyes, awaken yourself, and walk towards life. turn around from walking towards sunset towards walking towards sunrise. And you know, Wokhart Hospital's motto is life wins.
Life wins.
Life has to win. So when you deprive of all these inputs to yourself, you shouldn't even asking me this question then.
Wow.
You must give in all your inputs of fruits, vegetables, sprouts, nuts, seeds, herbs, kadas, sunshine, pranayam, meditation, prayer, exercise, walks, okay?
Yeah.
Singing, dancing, screaming, hugging people,
Wow. So much,
okay?
so many activities to do, and yet we are like, क्या करना है?
Everything is free and
Every,
everything is free.
everything is free. Just imagine.
And one vial of cancer, one vial of cancer, if you buy of treatment, uh, which uh, which will cost you $2,000-3,000 sometimes,
Yes.
your cancer treatment vials. But if you laugh and sing, they'll be released inside you for free. Your T cells, your B cells, your interleukin 2 interferons, your immunomodulators, you know, your pituitary gland, your thymus gland, your bone marrow will all secrete,
Wow.
you know, your immunity to you for free.
Wow. Thank you so much. All right. A quick rapid fire. Who inspires you the most?
Who inspires me the most? All the gurus of the world. There are 6, 7. And so Deepak Chopra, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, Osho, B.K.S. Iyengar ji, Sadhguru ji, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, Baba Ramdev, and Mahansa ji of the Yoga Institute.
Okay.
उनके सबके बाद I come.
जो हमारे गुरु हो.
ये सब बड़े महागुरु हैं.
All right. So, what is the greatest risk you have ever taken?
Risk I take every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so risk is a part of life, no? You step out of the house, there is risk because you could be breathing contaminated air.
Oh.
So that is risk. So, yeah. So there are cars moving everywhere, and sometimes walking, cycling, motorcycle, or being in a car is the risk. Going on expressway is a risk. When we used to eat outside food, it would be a big risk. When you get married, it's a risk.
I hope your wife isn't around.
No, that's okay. But it's a risk well worth
Okay.
taken. So, where there is faith, you take risk every day.
Every day.
Because you have faith, no?
Ah.
Because where there is faith, there is this belief that whatever you do with your conscious mind, it will be taken care of. And if something goes wrong, you are capable of taking care of itself with the help of the divine. Why? Because you have recognized that the divine is in you too.
Yes. And if you could change one thing about your life, what would it be?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah, because everything that happened was certainly meant to be. If I think that everything that happened was not meant to be, which means the participation of nature in moving people wasn't appropriate, then that is defaming nature.
Wow.
So I believe that whatever nature has done for all of us is just so perfect. So whatever has happened till date is perfect, but whatever has to happen yet, we can perfect it.
So आपका ये कहना है कि अभी अगर COVID is also whatever is happening,
बहुत अच्छी बात है.
ये होना चाहिए था.
Naturally, why not? Why not? Why not? The cycles on earth of destruction and creation has to happen. It is only because there is extreme media hype about COVID. As it is every day, there are hundreds and thousands taking birth and hundreds and thousands dying. Every day people are getting married and every day there are divorces. Every day people are falling in love and every day people are falling out of love. Every day people are eating and every day some people are fasting. Now this is happening worldwide every day. Don't get disturbed but be awakened.
Yes.
Be careful, don't be careless. So COVID is nothing but a virus. Virus is nothing but a toxic purge from a toxic cells. We are toxic. Louis Pasteur on his deathbed said that I ran after the microbes, researching them. I should have gone after the human terrain and treated that. Human terrain has become gutters. We give rise to viruses, germs, and bacteria.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we have to clean ourselves, regulate ourselves, fortify ourselves. And
Detoxic.
then, and then you must know that we are born of a mighty power, of a mighty purpose. And our immunity, our lifespan has been 14 billion years. It has taken so much time for us to become super conscious human beings. If a human being wants, he can live for 300, 400, 500 years and not die at all till he decides to let go of his breath and detach with vairagya, with swikriti.
Really?
Yeah.
We,
But at the same time, the time span or the lifespan of a virus is only 15 days. So, what are we comparing a virus to human being? Death has no right on life. Death is the culmination of disease. Disease is the culmination of your choices. You have made and we have made the choices which bring us to the point of disease and ailments. Otherwise, they are there in the air. They will come in and go, but nothing will happen to you. Your body should become a very strong, vibrant, not I would not say peace, a marvel process of life and living. No virus, no germ should ever, cancer ki majal kya. So become such that you can keep cancer at bay forever, always, and nothing will ever happen to you. You will be free of everything.
and how do you do that? Again, I will go back.
So, so let me tell you that diseases are born in the subconscious of mankind. Your sins, your personality is diseased, and the manifestation of that comes into our body. Anger brings ulcers. Envy and jealousy gives you heart problems. Stinginess, conjugacy also gives you heart problems. Okay? And being completely, I would say, greedy, lusty will give you kidney and liver problems. Being extremely egoistic can give you neck and back problems. Now, these are all very well equated problems because these problems, when in your subconscious are seeded and they grow, they translate or they get manifested into physicality by and large. I'm saying by and large, invariably. But one thing is 100% for sure that kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mad, maya, matsara, pride, anger, lust, envy, gluttony, avarice, sloth, these are the things which give you physical problems. So you correct yourself, clean yourself, regulate yourself, fortify yourself, and climb the ladder of evolution with Ashtanga, Yama, Niyama. So self-discipline, self-realizations, understanding of the larger interest, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, internalization of senses, dhyana, dharana, samadhi. Obviously, you will become also God, Krishna. You'll become like a lotus, flower, fragrant, fruit, sweet.
Incredible how you have
It
connected
is
the
so simple.
emotions to the diseases.
Every problem of the man's mind becomes a problem in man's body. That is why I said mind is medicine. You clean your mind, you clean your body. And you clean your body, your mind also gets clean. Because when you start eating swachha,
Wow.
sattva, then your body begins to purify of all the ills.
Wow.
Ijas will go away, greeds will go away, lust will go away, vasana will turn into upasana. Yoga is swara which is our breath,
Hmm.
will become so clean that our living will become swarga. So swara will give you sura, sura will give you swarga, and swara and sura, when done together in sangat, will create a geet, and this geet together, when all human beings connect in meditation and prayer, becomes sangeet. So
Wow. Gives me goosebumps because I mean I am feeling like I'm talking to some guru who is come down over here in Bombay city, Himalaya
you
say, or
you can become that. You can become that. It is so
really?
simple. Yeah, you can
Nahin,
become
nahin,
that.
nahin. My God,
Why not?
it must have taken a lot of practice and everything. I could just feel how much it is in you. Incredible. Place where you love being the most.
Place I love being the most. Deep in nature. It could be anywhere. There could be forests or mountains, lots of greens, water bodies, either or beach or ocean with lots of trees. In absolute nature, in absolute nature, deep in nature.
And nature heals you again.
Yeah.
Your favorite hobby?
I love reading upon science and spirituality, which connect, reading upon subject which connects science and spirituality. So philosophy also is my deep interest, and I'm reading Quran, I'm reading Bhagavad, reading Ramayana, reading Bible,
Wow.
reading Buddhism, reading Jainism. So I'm reading up all the religions of the world. I'm reading Confucius, I'm reading Greek philosophies, Tao, Zen, Tantra,
Wow.
Vedas.
Wow.
I've started though. So I'm
So
trying.
but you're busy, you're there everywhere, and how do you manage all this?
There's so much time at hand. You prioritize it. Put it in
Wow.
preferential order. Enjoy it. Enjoy your growth.
Such a disciplined life you follow. How inspiring it
I
is.
think discipline
Very
is,
organized.
is the word for being forceful.
So
I'm in the flow, enjoying everything what I enjoy.
just go with the flow.
Enjoy.
Enjoy it. All right.
Yeah.
So if you were the Prime Minister of India for a day, what is the first thing you would change?
I would change the program of Swachh Bharat Mast Bharat into Swasth Bharat Mast Bharat. Because when Bharat will become Swasth and Mast in mind, body, and spirit, corruption will go away, fighting will go away, division on religions will go away, hatred will go away, everybody will become productive, nobody will criticize, everybody will love everybody. Because a healthy body is a healthy mind. So when you integrate, integrity comes to fore.
Wow.
So then you become universal, then you don't remain a Hindu, Muslim, Christian. You become a human being. Then you don't remain a human being, you become a soul. Then you don't even remain a soul. You just become pure energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So instant. Wow. So as a world peace ambassador, what message of peace would you give to our audience?
That there is one single most energy of life, of healing and health, of harmony, prosperity, peace. That is love, 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 and only love. And the way Dr. Who's spreads love every day, he is an epitome, epicenter, embodiment of love himself. If you see Doctor Who's, he's so loving, so compassionate, full of empathy, sympathy, benevolence.
Yes.
Yeah? So
Absolutely.
love, 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 and love.
Wow. Love you.
I love you too.
What an amazing response. Thank you so much. A message for social tables?
A message for everybody and social tables is that use love to spread across the world. I will share my 10 commandments of wellness that make wellness the religion number one, because wellness unites and religions divide. Wellness integrates, brings organic unity, cleans you, purifies you, regulates you, fortifies you. Wellness brings integration, integrity. Wellness makes you whole, pure, holy. Then wellness brings so much of devotion, then you can become a better Hindu, better Muslim, better Christian.
Wow.
Because then that devotion will come after that, after being healed. Then join Dr. Mickey Mehta's Wellness Revolution for human evolution, not only for weight loss. Then, of course, most importantly, make wellness the religion number one. Once again, repeating the same thing. Then make this world a disease-free world. Then the best exercise for biceps is to uplift the poor, so uplift the poor. The best exercise for shoulders is to take responsibilities of the underprivileged. So
Wow.
take responsibilities of the underprivileged and share your everything that you have with everybody, because you're not going to take it away. Then the best exercise for strong legs is to be deeply rooted in humility, to be better rooted in humanity. Best exercise for good eyes is to have a collective vision for everybody's growth, not just for yours. Then sleep every night with a wish to heal yourself. Wake up every morning with a promise to heal the world. Everyone can be a healer. Then, of course, you can get energized, maximized, optimized, naturalized, internalized, eternalized, evolutionized, revolutionized, mesmerized, hypnotized, specialized, regularized, get revitalized, get initialized, get Mickey-mized.
And I've been mesmerized. Thank you so much for being part of this such an incredible show, and it has been definitely a
So
very
we must thank Dr. Who's. We
yes.
must thank his organization, his foundation, the World Peace, and thank all the ambassadors for the support. We must thank Jenny also.
Jenny,
And
please
I
come.
thank you. I thank your organization also.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mikhi Mehta. It was really nice listening from you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye.